This is Colonel Tracy Roberts, your pastor of prosperity, with words of wisdom and nuggets of knowledge. We've been talking about King Solomon, and so one of the questions that I have, or that you may have, is why would I want to learn from King Solomon in the first place? That's a legitimate question. And so I'm going to give you the answer. When King Solomon, God gave him so much wisdom and so much knowledge that he was able to solve problems. If you want to make it in this world, you become a problem solver. When someone has a problem, you have a solution. And anytime you become a problem solver, then you become like King Solomon. And King Solomon, yearly, the kings of the world would line up and they would come visit him. And they would come with a big basket full of gold. And they would plop a basket full of gold in front of Solomon. And they say, King Solomon, I've got a problem in my kingdom. They would state the problem. And then all of a sudden, without much hesitation, he would be able to give them the solution. They would leave their gold and they would go about their business. Then next year they would come back. Oh my gosh, King Solomon. Woo! Thank you. You helped me solve the problem in our kingdom. But this year I've got a big one. I mean, this one's a real big one. They'd tell him what it was and he would solve it. The Queen of Sheba, she came to visit Solomon because her people had been to Jerusalem and they saw the power of what he was doing and how rich he was. She brought him 120 talents of gold. Now, if you know anything about talents, depending on how we're measuring it, then it's about 75 pounds of gold, which is in today's market around $1.5 million worth of gold per talent. She brought him 120 of those. Are you starting to see how? And she brought him barges full of all kinds of things. When she showed up, she said, my servants have underestimated how cool you are. Even your servants, the people that are cleaning your toilet and sweeping your floor, and doing all of the things that sometimes we look at as menial labor. And I'm saying I'm so thankful that there are people out there in this world that do those kind of things and get up every morning and work hard, because that makes the world a better place. But King Solomon's servants were living better than the Queen of Sheba, who was a powerful queen from a very wealthy nation. And so that is why I look to King Solomon as one of my mentors, as my financial mentor, because he has given me the ability to learn from his wisdom and his knowledge through the book of Proverbs. And you can also read the book of Ecclesiastes, which has some wonderful things in there. But we're not going to get sidetracked. We're going to focus first on the book of Proverbs. One chapter a day. That's what you're going to go to. And I love it because I know that King Solomon is going to deliver what I need every day on time. And I have that information that's in my heart and in my desire. Now, I'm going to say that I have a belief system that I know where the information is coming from, but I'm using the wisdom of King Solomon. And maybe as you write some of your own history, you write down the things that have made you who you are, then your wisdom might be the wisdom that your great-great-grandchildren will look back and they'll say, I'm so thankful that he or she wrote down all of the things that they did, because they left me with some wisdom, and now I don't have to learn these things over and over again. So King Solomon, the reason why he's your financial mentor is because he had the ability to answer questions and to solve for problems. And if you learn how he solved for problems, then you're going to learn how to solve for your own problems. And when you learn how to solve for your own problems, then now you're going to be able to learn how to solve for other people's problems. And they're going to be coming to you. And they're going to be asking you questions. And they're going to be bringing the gold. Oh my goodness. One day, Lviv, she was telling me, she says, you're just like King Solomon. Lviv is my wife. And she said, you're just like King Solomon. My chest started getting all puffed out. I was thinking, wow, how about that? She says, I'm as smart as King Solomon. And then she stopped for a minute, and she said, the only difference is you bless people's life, but you don't receive the gold. And I went, ugh. And my chest deflated, and I didn't feel so good anymore. And I looked at that, and I was like, wow. Because she said that people will come, and they'll ask questions, and I'll be able to deliver a powerful message and help them understand money. And we're going to be talking about money in a big way. When you understand money, your life is going to change. When you stop talking bad about it, your life is going to change. But that's for another day or for another video. But she told me I never receive it. And I was like, wow, that's true. I bless all these people's life. And I give, but I haven't learned how to receive. And that is going to be a lesson that's going to help you out too. And then a few days later, after we had had that conversation, I was sitting down with a lady, and she wanted to be part of a mastermind that I was doing. She was sincere. This lady was in the real estate business. She's so good at what she does, but she's come on a dry spell, and she wasn't able to sell any houses, and she just didn't understand. So she wanted to be in a mentor mastermind that me and one of my great mentor friends, Delwyn Davenport, we were putting together. And she wanted to be part of it, but she didn't have any cash. In my heart, I was just like, man, I want you to be part of it anyway, even if you don't have the money. But I remembered the conversation, and I told her how much it was. She said, for years and years, I've been holding on to this one coin, this one gold coin. Will you accept this gold coin as payment for allowing me to be part of your mastermind? And in that moment, I was like jumping up and down. I tried to stay calm on the outside, but I was jumping up and down. I was like, oh my gosh, I received that with all my heart. And so 3 days after I had a conversation about not receiving the gold, then God put in my hands the gold. And I literally received a gold coin as payment so she could participate in our program. The after message of that is she started, because she participated in our program, she started listing more houses and closing sales. And I just saw her the other day, and she says, I've got 3 houses that are about to close right now, and I'm doing good. And it was because she changed her mind. She changed her mind, and it was because she had seen the power of the mastermind and the power of learning from and having great mentors in your life. Now, I want you, and I'm hoping for you, and I'm desiring for you, and I'm encouraging you to become one of those that receives the gold. One of those individuals that is not only a giver, but a receiver of the blessings that you have and the blessings that you want to receive. King Solomon has been one of my great mentors. And guess what? I didn't even have to spend a lot of money to get him as my mentor. And if you say, well, I don't even have enough money to buy a Bible, I've got friends that buy Bibles by the box loads. I'll get you a Bible if you can't find a Bible. But more importantly, I would encourage you to go get one, even if you have to use some of your limited amount of money that you've got, and allow that to be your purchasing power on your future. Invest in yourself. One of the ways to invest in yourself is from daily habits, daily actions, taking action on a daily basis, not just every once in a while. And the daily habit, once again, is to read 1 chapter a day in the book of Proverbs. And if you miss a day, then don't make it up. Just read whatever day on the calendar that you got. The Proverbs is going to take you to places that you never thought possible. It's going to change your mind on things. It's going to open your mind to possibilities. And it's going to show you how to more properly bless the people that you're in contact with. One of the cool things, the great lessons that I learned, and I'm going to leave it with this, is King Solomon says in the book of Proverbs that you never make a loan to people that you love. You never loan money to the people that you love. Why? Because the borrower becomes becomes the slave of the person they took a loan from. And I never want to sit down to Thanksgiving dinner or sit down with my family and be sitting down and saying they're my slave because they owe me money. So here's the thing that I learned. And if you take this into your world, is anytime someone asks me for money, I ask a couple of questions. Here's one of them. Do I want to give them the money? Second, do I have the money to give? Third, can I give this gift and it never will have a negative impact on my economy? So anytime someone asks me for money, I ask those three questions. And when I ask those three questions, if I answer no to any of them, then I never will give them the money. Most of the time, if someone that I love and care about, if they ask me for money, then really what I ask for is, do I have the money to give? And am I willing to give it to them as a gift? And so the people that are closest to me, I don't make loans to them. I give gifts to them from the abundance that I have. Now, if that same person that I gave a gift, if they came back and handed me $1,000 or $3,000 later, you know what I would do? I would take the money and say thank you and put it in my pocket, because I don't need to ask why. I don't need to know why you gave me the money, because I must have blessed your life. And so one of the great lessons that I learned was that the people that are closest to you, if you have to give, give. If you don't have to give, then say in your heart, if I had, I would give. And it's the desire of my heart to always give to those that are less fortunate than me. And no matter how rich or poor I am, there's always someone who is poorer than me. Someone that may be P-O. And so in those situations, if I've got, then I give. I always try to keep some money in my pocket, because if someone petitions me, then I talked about those kings. I like to learn from kings. That one king, he taught me, he said, never allow the beggar to petition you in vain. This is an ancient Hebrew way of thinking. That's why Jews around the world always have money in their pocket, because if someone petitions them, they give them something. Even if I've only got a quarter for you, then I try to make sure that I've got something that I can give to anybody who is less fortunate than I am in that moment. And that's going to open up the windows of heaven and bring blessings into your life in a powerful, powerful way. King Solomon is one of my financial mentors, and I hope that he can be your financial mentor too. Thank you. God bless you. And remember, you don't give because you've got, you give in order to get. Now that will take you to places you never thought possible.